What's going on? Ryan here from Brightside Skateboard Supply. We've had lots of messages over the last little bit, and one in particular asked, hey, can you do an update on the shop and what's been going on there? What's it like to be a business owner? And, just general information about how things have progressed since our last update here. So this is traditionally stuff I would post on my personal page, but we're going to post this to the Brightside channel as well, just because we've got some stuff coming out on the Brightside channel. So behind me here, you can see, and there's no audio, so we don't get marked by or audio taken down by YouTube, is our team video. So this is not online yet. We did the premiere for it about a week ago. It's amazing, fun. I think it represents our shop exactly the way we want it to, and just full of local rippers, young and old, all people that are important to our local skate community. And I love it, I'm super proud of it, and I'm stoked that our team was able to put something so fun and cool together. So that's one big thing that's been going on. That's been for about a year, been working on that, and the guys did an amazing job. Hyped on it. I'm grateful to have such an amazing team and people around us who have so many awesome skill sets like editing and filming, all that cool stuff. Other stuff that's been going on around here, we decided to get into the snowboard business. So as I've mentioned a million times, or if anybody that knows me, I've been in the snowboard industry for almost 30 years now, and it was just kind of the natural progression. It's not something when I opened the shop that I wanted. Actually, much like many things that we've done here, I vowed I'd never do it again. In Ontario, where we are in Canada, the weather's just too unpredictable. If you get a bad snow year, you're just stuck with tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of winter gear. That doesn't seem like there's a great way to get rid of it and just bury yourself in debt. And that's not something I'm willing to do. So we took a very conservative kind of approach to it, and using my resources and experience, I've curated quite an awesome selection of product for 26-27, and we've got some amazing brands from Capita Spring Break, Public, Forum, Lib, GNU, Union, Vans, you name it. A bunch of amazing stuff, and it's going to be in small quantity, but it's going to be an awesome product. So we're really excited for that. We'll start to see that stuff. Our ship dates are September, as we're still in the full swing of skate at that point in time, so we don't want that stuff too early, but it will start to roll in around September, so we're excited for that. But that's a big leap. That's a lot of money that I have to be on the line for, and very different than the skateboard world. A skateboard world, your orders are a couple $1,000s every week from each company, and snowboard stuff, you're $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 per order, and that adds up, obviously. And we don't know what that's going to look like moving forward in this region. There's a reason why I closed my previous shop here. There's a reason why every other shop that's ever been here is closed. It's tough to sustain, and which is crazy to think, because we have a local hill in town. They did a great job last year. For the first time in many years, they actually kind of showed up and built a nice park, which is awesome, and we're excited to be able to kind of support that in any way we can. We'll see what that kind of looks like moving forward. Previously, I was a corporate sponsor with our old shop. That's not something I would do again, but it'd be cool to see if we can promote the local hill a little bit more, but we'll see what that looks like. It will be on our terms in terms of that, so we'll have to see. Otherwise, street snowboarding, stuff like that's huge around here. And we'll see what it looks like. And if it doesn't work, that's okay. And if it does, amazing. So it'll give the staff something to do in the winter too, because it's quite slow around here in the winter with just being skate. So our first big winter here with having multiple employees, and which obviously drives up expenses, and as the store has grown, was actually very successful. Our local indoor park, which is only open 3 nights a week, and I say only, but we're grateful to have those 3 nights a week, really keeps the momentum going for skateboarding and keeps people moving in the right direction. And for a new skateboarder, if you were to take a couple months off, you might lose that kind of edge or passion for it that was developing. So I think that's an important aspect of it. And just for people that are experienced and their life kind of revolves around skateboarding, having somewhere to go that's indoors is amazing. And I hope that the cities around us can get more behind that. We are beyond grateful for all the amazing parks that are outdoor that are built. It's awesome. Everywhere you turn in this region has a good outdoor park. But we do need something permanent indoors, and we'll see what that looks like moving forward. We're trying to work with the city and see some options and solutions to that. But I don't think there's any short-term solution to that. Like, I don't think there's anything for this upcoming year, but maybe we can get an extra day at the skate park or an extra evening, something like that. We'll see what we can do. But the city of Kitchener seems really willing to work with us, and city of Waterloo, they've never had something like that in the past, so that conversation hasn't really come up yet. But we'll see what that looks like again moving forward. One of the questions that one of our followers asked was, "What are the struggles of owning a business like this?" Ultimately, at the end of the day, I think a lot of retail covers kind of the same struggles. And the big part of that is retail rent is a huge aspect of it. It's very, very, very expensive. And as you can see in any city you live in, retail stores are closing left and right. The internet world has taken over the shopping experience, which skateboarding I think is really important to actually be able to go in, feel, stand on a board, see new product. That's a very important thing for skateboarding, but paying $10,000 a month rent, it's not possible on the off skateboarding, and let alone to pay employees and things like that. So that's one of the biggest struggles. We're in a unique situation here, as I'm employed by the lease or by my landlord, and so I have a working relationship with them outside of the skateboard shop, which allows me to get kind of the friends and family rate on rent here. So yeah, I pay rent, but it's not, they definitely could get more from somebody else, but I'm grateful for them. They support me in this journey, and they support me in every aspect of everything. So without them, I wouldn't be here. And they see what the end goal is here, and they're here to support. So I'm lucky. That's a very rare situation. I vowed when I closed my last shop, that I would never open a store again unless I own the property, because I strongly believe in the retail world. That's the only way you'll get out of this without being broke. But this unique situation provided to us allows us to be able to be a rent payer, as I'm not in a position to buy a retail building. That's just not a thing that can happen. So yeah, that's the biggest struggle, I think, for retail in general. For us, for me, it's just time at the end of the day, because I do have a full-time job, and then I have staff that work up here. On my days that I'm not working my full-time job, I am in the shop. So I'm working 7 days a week. And when I'm not in the shop, I'm working on stuff for the shop, whether that's designing apparel, having print work done, making orders, placing orders, entering inventory, you name it. It's really a around the clock kind of job. But I wouldn't trade it for anything. And the amazing thing about this shop is that I don't have to pay myself out of it. So my employees are the only people that get paid out of this. So the liability of it all is a lot lower, because at the end of the day, I'll have food on my table, as again, I do have a full-time job. And as long as I can pay my employees and pay the rent, that's my biggest concern. I would like to think that as a newcomer to this industry, there would be, there are struggles that a newcomer to this industry would face that I didn't have to face this time around, because I've done it before. But that's going to be opening new accounts, setting up credit terms, managing inventory, accounting, payroll, all these things that most new people to business think that they can do themselves. The biggest mistake I ever made in the beginning, not here, but in my previous businesses, was thinking I could do it myself. There's only so many hours in a day, and I'm not qualified. I'm not educated to be an accountant. Yes, I went to school for business, but that's not the same thing as being an accountant. The dollars spent are well worth it. In the long run, will save you money technically. And, we have a great accountant here, bookkeeper, and that really helps us, because that's one less thing I have to worry about. This year we contracted out our payroll. Yes, there's an expense to that, but that's one less thing for me to mess up. And that's the important part, is the recognition that I can't do everything, and that there are people more qualified than me to do that. And although that's a little bit humbling, and as a small business, the concern about spending money is always such a top of mind thing. And I think at the end of the day, the term "you have to spend some to get some," that's really where it ties in. It's not wasting money on frivolous things, or yeah, you have to buy inventory, but this is the money well spent in the long run, will keep me out of financial trouble, as they are there to protect us. The other thing that would be difficult for new shops is, like I mentioned previously, is managing inventory. For us, being on the East Coast, vast majority of our distributors are based on the West Coast. So that means if I place an order on Monday, I'm lucky if I see it Friday. I likely won't see it till the following Monday. So you always have to have new inventory on order. It always has to be, you have to be predicting the future on that. You have 10 boards, or sorry, 10 helmets left, and that will get you through the next week, but it will get you through the next 2 weeks. No. So you have to always be constantly managing that, and having good staff kind of on top of that, notifying me when stuff needs to be ordered. Hey, we've only got 20 sheets of grip tape left. That's not going to get us through the weekend type thing. Always being on top of that. Our East Coast distributors are amazing. I have great relationships with them, but they don't carry everything we need. So we use what we can out of the East Coast distributors, and then we have to pull out of the West for a lot of it. So those are some of the challenges that you're going to face. And then it's just managing your life outside of it. So for me, I used to believe that I had to be in the shop 24 hours a day, and that was the only way it was going to be successful. At the end of the day, all that did is I worked myself just into the ground. There's no joy in my life. I resented skateboarding. It had drained everything out of me mentally, spiritually, financially. And this time around, I refuse to do that. We are closed on holidays. I used to be open every holiday. I take vacation as needed. My staff isn't expected to work 7 days a week. I'm currently 7 days a week, but that's changing as well. There's a time and a place for it, especially in a new business. But this idea that hustle is going to make your business, it's just not correct. I don't care who you are. Sorry for the interruption. We are back. Just had a bunch of customers in, and a great way to start a Sunday. So sold a bunch of completes, and we're back at it. So where I left off, the grind, the struggles of being an independent business owner in the skate world and stuff like that. It's tough. It's not easy. Like I said, full-time job outside of it. Trying to take a paycheck from a skate shop is very difficult. But hey, some people can do it. Works for some people. For me, I like the security of knowing where my next meal is coming from, and I enjoy that I get to do this for the love of it and don't have to worry about doing it for the money of it. And that's a great part about it. Now, inventory and inventory control. So there's a board missing there that I just sold, but inventory is crazy because you have to carry a ton of stuff. And even when you carry a ton of stuff, people still want stuff that you don't have to order it. As a discretionary thing, I am a strong proponent for, if you want something custom ordered, you prepay it. And the reason for that is the vast majority of people that custom order stuff will not come and get it. It's no different than a Facebook Marketplace person being like, hey, I'll give you this much for it. So just to protect yourself and your business and your cash flow, just get them to prepay it. If they really want it, they'll be happy to do it. Friends and family, sure, I'm happy to do it. Regular customers, sure, I'm happy to do it. But for vast majority of people, anytime where I'm like, they'll pay for it, they end up not coming for it. And that can be a little bit annoying because you end up with something that you didn't want in the first place. For me, what works for me in terms of inventory, I want my store to be full, stocked to the brim, and that's just the way I prefer it. Reason for that is that I'll never need more space until I'm at the point where we're bursting at the seams and that we can't fit enough customers in here, and that we've got all the selection you need. And then we're not custom ordering and stuff like that. And I have faith in the product that we order and bring in, that this stuff will eventually move. So I'm not worried about sitting on it for a little bit. Everything we have is very popular and or stuff I like. So that's one of the big differences this time around from my other shops. Now, my other shops are huge. They're 3,500 square feet, things like that. This is like 400 square feet. So a very difference in size. But I used to buy for what I thought the consumer wanted, which in the snow world, definitely you have to do. But at the end of the day, in the skate world, I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy stuff I like from the skateboarders that I like, the generation that I like, the scene that I liked. Because at the end of the day, if this all doesn't work out, I own all this stuff, so it's mine. So I better like it if I have to take it home with me. So I'd rather just order the stuff that I like rather than trying to appeal to the masses. And that doesn't mean I don't order some stuff in that's definitely on the more popular side. But if I like it, then I'm cool with it. So, it takes a lot of money to do this. We now currently, from the day we opened, our inventory is 3 times the size it was when we initially opened. So when we first opened, we had a couple clothing racks. Like my whole goal when we opened was just to have hard goods. So that means like boards, trucks, wheels. Because the big concern is that there was nowhere to buy anything within 60 kilometers. So say 50 miles-ish around us. And I didn't like that I had to wait if I was going to order it online. Even though I had access to this stuff through all my connections in the industry, I still had to wait. And I wanted stuff today and now. And that's our whole goal when we opened, was just to have hard goods. Now, as you can see, we have a ton of apparel and footwear and stuff like that. That really increases the expenses in terms of what your store is going to have in it. Like a pair of shoes, for instance, you see one shoe on the wall. Well, you have to have 10 other pairs of them in the back to have a size run. So that stuff really adds up really quick. You can be thousands and thousands of dollars into footwear very quickly. And footwear's tricky. If you get a bad colorway or a shoe that's just not selling, sometimes you can't even give them away. Like, they are a tough sell on certain shoes. So that's one area that's like, I'd rather play it a little bit lean, but at the end of the day, we've got what we got, and we do have quite a few shoes, and I never imagined that we'd have this many, but hey, it's working for now, so we'll keep doing what we're doing. And then again, on the apparel side, less and less skateboarders are wearing skateboard specific apparel, because who wants to ruin nice fancy shirts while they're out skating? So we try to do some stuff on the more affordable side. So we'll do like Dickies skate, which is much less expensive than your traditional skate stuff, like your Polars, your Huffs, Dime, stuff like that. And then we do a ton of Dime. Like, this is all Dime right here. And I'm sure all of you know Dime, amazing company out of Montreal. That's going to be for your skateboarder, and just on the streetwear side of stuff for that skateboarder that wants to be stylish and looking fancy when they're not on the board. And, for some of those ballers, when they're on the board. I love the Dime stuff. I have a ton of it. Amazingly made stuff, and gotta love the Canadian homies. So, and then we do in-house branding. We do a ton of our own stuff. Anywhere from t-shirts, hoodies, coaches jackets, windbreakers, shorts, pants, you name it. We've done something or another. Brightside, and then we do a ton of our own boards, and we do tote bags, and just lots of cool stuff that it's fun to be creative and be able to do that stuff for ourselves. And, that gives us an opportunity to get our name out there. Like, one of our newest things is this right here. We did metal license plate frames. So you can get your little Brightside metal license plate frame. $20. It's a steal. So that's where we're at. Store's busy. We've got a few staff, moving in the right direction. And I couldn't be more happy with the way that it's evolved over the past couple of years. And as we move in to our end of year 2, I'm excited for what the future has. Locally, the skate scene is good. There's tons of new people getting into skateboarding, and it makes me excited and stoked. The number of new skateboarders is amazing. And I can be honest with this, is I never thought we would sell equipment to the point we do in terms of pads. Like, in the past, we never sold pads, to the point where before we opened, I gave away a full garbage bag full of ProTech pads, because I was like, we won't need these. I just had them from my old shop. Lo and behold, we're ordering pads every week. They're nonstop. People are wearing helmets. That stuff sells nonstop. So it's changed a lot over the years, and I think that's cool. Also, a big part of that's just because there's so many young skateboarders getting into it now that you just kind of have to have it. So things are exciting, moving in the right direction. I'm starting to take a day off every week as of tomorrow, which will be nice. And, you have to have that balance. You just have to. And like the work-life balance, as they say in the financial world. And that's ultimately like, I can't work myself into the grave, or I'm doing this all for nothing. You know what I mean? And the purpose of why I do this is to enrich my life, not financially enrich it, to have a better life. So that's all I got. Peace.